All right, let's welcome in now biotech entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy. He's also the author of the new book, Woke Inc. Well, I guess it's not technically new anymore, but it might be new to you. And if you haven't read it yet, you absolutely should. Vivek, great to see you again.
Good to see you, John. How are you?
Well, I'm doing great, especially after the Braves win last night. We'll talk about the sweet irony of that in a second. But look, you know, hindsight's always 20/20, especially when it comes to election. This issue is so clear, so visceral for voters. And I wonder, I've been asking this question all day, is there, some soul searching going on here? Is there an acknowledgement that this is not working, or do Democrats continue to go down this road of identity politics? Do they continue to double down on this?
So look, I think there's a fork in the road for Democrats, John, and they're going to have to make the choice of whether they go back to arguing about economic inequality and economic redistribution and labor rights and go in that direction, which I personally think would be the better direction for the Democratic Party and a better direction for the country if they go back to arguing about those issues, versus doubling down on the identitarian view of American identity, the idea that your identity is based on your race, your gender, and your sexual orientation. That's what we're going to teach the next generation, irrespective of the amount of money you have, teaching theories of disempowerment that root in our genetic identities. This is going to be the fork in the road for the Democrats. The beautiful thing about Terry McAuliffe as a candidate is, as you said it, he actually was just an old Clinton stooge in new woke clothing. He was never really an actual woke candidate in the first place. And so it was the perfect foil to actually lose this race in Virginia. But the question going forward is, are they going to come out and say that actually we shouldn't have nominated a white man and that was our mistake? Or no, was it our mistake to embrace this identity politics oriented philosophy? That's the question for Democrats. I hope, for the sake of the country, they come out on the first side of that. I'm not confident that's going to be the answer, though.
Right. I think it's a big to be determined to answer that question right now. You know, the other thing, too, that I think is at play here is there's a lot of immigrants, legal immigrants in the Washington, D.C. area. And the way that Terry McAuliffe talked about this, you know, he is a retread. A lot of his ideas were old, but repackaged in this new kind of form. And ultimately, when you listen to this stuff and you take a step back and look at it objectively, it really just is offensive, I think, for anyone, regardless of the color of your skin.
It really is. I mean, the idea that math is racist is a racist thing to say because it presumes that minorities or certain people of certain races can't do math as well, when in fact, it's the failures of our public schools to teach all kids math in an even way that actually should be the problem that we're talking about. And John, I mean, I talk about this first personally. I'm the kid of immigrants. Right. I'm not an immigrant myself, but I'm a first generation American. I don't care what skin color you are, what language your parents spoke, what country they came from. The reason immigrants come to this country is because they want to pursue excellence unapologetically. They want their kids to be able to pursue excellence unapologetically. And right now in America, we have this new anti-excellence culture that elevates victimhood, elevates mediocrity, and penalizes excellence itself. And I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, apolitical, black, white, brown, immigrant or not. That's part of the reason why people come to this country. And I think that's what we saw in a lot of Democratic voters crossing over last night. What we saw was actually a rejection of that culture, which transcends our politics.
And I, love hearing your story about immigrating to Ohio and how much fun that was for you as a kid. We'll talk about that in the future. But I want to talk about the Braves here with just a couple minutes we have left here. You know, Stacey Abrams, Democrats tried to cancel the Braves. They moved the All-Star game to a state of Colorado where the voting restrictions are actually more restrictive than they are in Georgia. The irony there, of course, is hilarious. But now we have also these Atlanta-based companies, Coca-Cola, Delta Airlines. They have gone in on the woke culture, and that's going to leave a lot of bad blood, I think. Speaking as someone who was born and raised in Atlanta as a loyal Coke drinker, I drink it differently now. I haven't quit, full disclosure, but there is a bad taste left in my mouth. The same thing about Delta and their kind of attempts to appease woke culture here. These are long-lasting effects that consumers won't forget.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head, John. And that's the thing about woke culture is it is all about what you say rather than actually about what you do. They hurt the city of Atlanta by moving the baseball game out of Atlanta. They hurt businesses owned by black people, businesses owned by white people. They hurt businesses owned by all people in Atlanta by virtue signaling. And one of the things I frequently say is the problem with signaling your virtue is at some point the signal becomes more important than being virtuous itself. And I think that is something that we ought to remember as Americans when we evaluate this woke movement. Don't judge it by what it says. Judge it by what it actually does for people of all skin colors. I'm really happy to see the Atlanta Braves win. I'm not from Atlanta like you are, but this year in particular, it put a fine point on a year of the politicization of baseball to hopefully say, now that the Braves actually won it in the end, let's put that year behind us and pretend like it didn't happen and move on as a country. Because if we don't get beyond this woke infection of our private sector, we're really going to be left with two economies in the end. And once we're left with two versions of baseball, John, if there's a right-wing version and a left-wing version, that's the beginning of the end. I hope we never get there to see that day.
Some of my favorite messages I got this morning were from my friends who are Phillies fans and Mets fans. Normally we don't get along very well, but all of them very happy about the irony of the Braves winning this. And, you know, Stacey Abrams, I wonder if she's going to attend the parade tomorrow. You know, might be a little awkward to say the least. Vivek, great to see you. Thanks so much.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.